One green fella with a burning hate for Christmas is just about ready to do anything to ruin it for everyone else. And that's why today in Flick Summary, The Grinch! This Christmas-hating classic opens with a snowflake and a narrator retelling the story of Whoville, a quaint, eccentric town packed with quaint, eccentric people, also known as the Whos, who are filled with a holiday spirit as they excitedly get ready for Christmas shopping. Somewhere way up high in the mountains, there was a certain someone who didn't share this spirit quite as much as his fellow townspeople.
I really don't like them. No, I don't.
In fact, one could even say he loathes them. Can you guess who it is? That's right, the Grinch himself. A green, hairy, and quite frankly insane man who not only hates Christmas, but the people in his town as well. Given his reclusive nature and overall meanness, the Whos are absolutely terrified of him and constantly create all sorts of myths and rumors surrounding the Grinch that aren't too far from the truth, to be quite honest. Two teenage boys who are trying to impress two other girls decide to play a prank on the Grinch, but all they really do is ring his bell and run away frightfully when an angry animatronic answers the call. The teenage boys hurry to tell the entire town about the Grinch and their encounter with the creature. Of course, the town's mayor, Augustus Mayhew, who has always had a rather strange rivalry with the Grinch, scolds the teenagers for bothering him and possibly putting the town into a sea of danger. Again, he wasn't at all that wrong, but he is still a bit of a prick, so don't pay attention to anything he says.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth.
Surprisingly, the teenage boys disrupting the Grinch's solitary confinement awoke a certain curiosity from him, and he decides to go on a little visit to his hometown.
I guess I could use a little social interaction.
All this while hiding under a disguise, of course. He takes his dog, Max, and manages to get the Whoville practically unnoticed, but even one mention of his name and the Whos go completely ballistic. Sounds a little bit like paranoia, but alright.
Take a chill pill.
We are then introduced to Cindy Lou, a sweet little girl whose only hopes and dreams are to include everyone during the holiday seasons. And yes, that includes the fearsome Grinch. Her father quickly discourages the idea and tells her that even speaking his name causes mayhem, which, yes, very true, what makes her think that bringing Grinch into the town would be a good idea. Either way, let's not forget that he is currently in town, passing by as just another excited and eccentric Who. You may wonder what he's doing in town, right? Well, he's trying to sabotage just about anything he can, but has a small run-in with little Cindy Lou, the girl who wanted to include him during the holiday celebrations. At first, she is absolutely terrified, as anyone would be.
You're the Grinch!
But eventually, she is curious and excited to be around such a well-known presence. Grinch, on the other hand, is definitely not as thrilled as she and doesn't even care when, after one little accident, her life is immediately at risk. However, Max, his dog, resorts to biting him, not letting go unless he helps Cindy Lou, which ultimately he does, although he is very visibly upset about it.
You're entering a world of pain.
The little girl is once again incredibly excited over her encounter with Grinch and grateful that he decided to save her.
Saving you? Is that what you think I was doing? Wrong-o.
Not wanting to let anyone think that he has gone soft, the Grinch wraps Cindy as a present and completely traps her, leaving her alone in a room without anything to do. Well, that Grinch is certainly a mean one. A few moments later, Cindy Lou's dad finds her in her present-like state. But instead of letting her explain what happened, he immediately assumes that she's been practicing her Christmas wrapping abilities and is thrilled about it. Unfortunately for him, he couldn't be more wrong. She goes along with it in order to not deflate her dad's hopes. The Grinch has finally had enough of disrupting the town's peace, at least for now, and returns to his little man cave up the mountains. On his way there, he finds quite a lot of trash, waste, and thrown away items from the Whos, which in turn the Grinch gladly welcomes, claiming that another man's trash is another man's potpourri. whatever that means. Once he's finally done collecting the trash, he does his everyday routines, which include a wide variety of throwing garbage at a poster of the mayor, getting dressed, checking his messages, eating glass bottles, and monitoring his heart size.
Yes! Down a size and a half!
Although he claims he loves being alone, it is quite obvious he still feels much too lonely. Oh, Grinch, don't we all? Back at Whoville, Cindy Lou grows more and more curious about the mysterious nature of the Grinch and decides asking some fellow townspeople about him and his story. She discovers that the Grinch arrived to Whoville just like any other Who and got adopted by two ladies that welcomed him with arms wide open, but still noticed that he was certainly different, even beyond his green colors and his hairy body. When he was younger, he was always ridiculed and bullied at school. You may wonder who his bully was, right? Well, it was none other than the mayor, Augustus Mayhew.
Dinkelberg!
Now you know why I said he was a prick. Poor small Grinch was not only victim of harassment, but he also developed a crush on Martha May Whovier, the girl Augustus also liked. Grinch strikes up a conversation with the lady and she gladly reciprocates, telling him that she loves the colors of Christmas. More specifically, she loves the color green. For the first and last time in his life, the Grinch turns into a Christmas freak and builds a present for Martha May.
That's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
However, Augustus Mayhew is quick to break his spirit, telling our poor guy that she would never like an 80-year-old with a beard, causing him to resort to shaving. Let's just say that things went south fast. He gets to school the next day looking his worst as his peers mock and point him, leading him to lash out.
I hate Christmas!
Surprisingly, the now older Martha May admits she found the whole chaos attractive back in the day, but recalls that was the day he moved up the mountains, away from anyone that might hurt him.
Terrible, you're all terrible.
Nowadays, the Grinch spends his days screaming at the Whos as he tells them just how much he loathes them. No hard feelings, huh? Suddenly, he remembers that Christmas was only a day away and that could only grant him more room for mischief. All the while, the Whos are celebrating a holiday called Whobilation and are looking to select one candidate that fits the Whoville Holiday Cheer Meister. Again, whatever that means. Apparently, that's a huge deal for the Whos, and Cindy Lou decides to nominate Grinch for the position, which absolutely shocks the entire of Whoville. Even though Augustus is not having any of it, Cindy Lou manages to convince the rest of the town into nominating Grinch, telling them that Christmas was all about welcoming whoever needs it the most. The following day, Cindy Lou decides to pay him a personal visit and tell him about his nomination in Whoville. He tries his best to scare her off, but nothing works on her.
Kids today, so desensitized by movies and television.
He eventually gives up and asks Cindy about the reason of her moves as she tells him all about the nomination for the Holiday Cheer Meister. He originally rejects it without a second thought, but once he hears that Martha May will be attending, he immediately accepts it. He quickly gets ready to attend the Whobilation and heads to Whoville, where all the Whos are cheering and expecting, albeit frightfully, the Grinch's arrival. Unfortunately for our green friend, the Whos all want him to go through a series of rituals and traditions in order to give him the award. The poor guy has to go on a ride on the Chair of Cheer, eat a whole lot of pudding, do the Christmas conga, try fruitcake, fudge, and finally receive a present from the mayor himself, Grinch's lifelong enemy. He's the worst.
I mean, you are horrible, but I shouldn't have said it so loud.
He takes this opportunity to humiliate the Grinch once again and gifts him a razor, reminding him of the very day he decided to leave Whoville. To make matters worse, Augustus proposes to Martha May, causing poor Grinch to go ballistic and destroy the entirety of the town's Christmas decorations, which isn't that big of a deal due to the spare the Whos had lying around. He returns to his man cave yet again and finds that Christmas is only 40 hours away, which absolutely repulses the Grinch. However, he gets an idea, a wonderful, Yet awful idea. He fabricates a fake Santa suit, a slide, and gets preparation in order to set his idea on course. What's his idea? Steal Christmas. Obviously, that's the title of the movie after all. Once he is finally ready, he uses Max as his reindeer and gets ready to go into town. He breaks into all of the Who's houses and steals every little thing he can find. Presents, decorations, food, you name it. When invading Cindy Lou's house, the girl wakes up as Grinch quickly hides behind the tree. Convinced that the man hiding is Santa, Cindy Lou asks him what the meaning of Christmas really is, which he quickly replies with,
Vengeance! Presents.
She then asks him not to forget about the Grinch when delivering presents, which briefly warms the green thief's heart. But he doesn't dwindle on it for too long as he continues stealing everything in sight.
Nice kid. Bad judge of character.
He finally finishes looting the town and goes back to his cave, excitedly awaiting the Who's reaction when they find empty houses, empty fridges, empty everything. Not too long after, the whole town meets in the square as they discuss what could have happened, and very clearly everything points to the Grinch's direction. They blame Cindy Lou for bringing him along in the first place, but her father steps in, claiming that he is proud of her for what she did, as he tells them that they don't need presents to enjoy Christmas, they just need someone to spend it with. Much to Grinch's disappointment, the families get together and happily celebrate Christmas, even when it has been literally stolen from them. With no presents, no decoration, and no food, how could the Christmas spirit still be alive? Right then and there, he reflects on the meaning of the holiday and immediately grows fond of it. His heart grows 3 sizes and he finally starts to care. He decides to make things right, but the slide was heavier than what you can think of and it begins to slip. As it turns out, Cindy Lou was on the slide hoping to catch Grinch and spend some time with him. His heart warms up yet again and he manages to muster up the strength to rescue her and the slide.
Oh, thank God.
Phew, that was close. They take the presents back to the town as the Grinch apologizes for his mischievous and criminal acts. The mayor insists on arresting him, but everyone else gladly accepts his apology. After all, he gave them back, right?
Yes, I heard him all right. He said he was sorry.
Not only that, but Martha May declines to Augustus' marriage proposal and admits she has always had feelings for the Grinch. He celebrates and mocks Augustus for not being able to arrest him, losing the girl, and ultimately losing this lifelong rivalry.
No hard feelings.
Cheer up, dude. It's Christmas.
You tell him, Grinch. They finally get together around the tree and gleefully sing carols, welcoming the green-haired fella into Whoville once again. What a movie! And that's all for today. Make sure to stay tuned as we'll be doing more Christmas movies for the whole month. In the meantime, let me know in the comments what you want for Christmas and I'll deliver it to you if you subscribe. Nah, just kidding. But subscribe anyways. Merry Christmas and see you next time.